start off by talking a little bit about the greatest point guard of all time. So Steph Curry recently made headlines saying that he was the greatest point guard of all time over Magic Johnson. It caused a large debate in all of sports media. How do you guys feel about it?
So me personally, I think Steph is the greatest of all time for point guards. Well, there's many different reasons though, because Steph is one of the greatest shooters of all time. So not only does that add in, he's a four-time champion, he's a two-time MVP, and he's had a way longer career than Magic Johnson already. So, I mean, Magic Johnson played for, 11 years? Cool. He definitely didn't have the longevity. And if we're talking like how LeBron and Michael Jordan are compared, they always say, oh, MJ's longevity kind of hurts him in the debate. So I say the same thing for Steph.
I'd like to pose a question
I'm glad you
to the
raised your
floor.
hand.
To the floor.
Class.
Teacher, can you call on me?
Boy.
Does anybody here think that Magic Johnson in Game 7 of the NBA Finals would have been locked up by Kevin Love? I'd love to hear anybody's opinion on that.
I mean, they're roughly the same size,
If the
so
greatest
maybe.
point guard of all time can't get by Kevin Love when it truly matters, then I don't really think that they're the greatest point guard ever.
He was
I mean,
also
he's got-
fighting double teams the entire game and probably was like dead tired by the time that point got on. And Kevin Love just got subbed back into the game. So, I mean, what do you want to
I
do?
would love to think that Magic Johnson would have been able to get by it, or get a pass to somebody down low.
How often was Magic Johnson making cuts around the court for literally every second the entire game?
I think
They are different players.
The bigger debate
That's what
needs to
I'm
be on
saying.
what a real point guard is. Because if we're talking about pure passers, yes, Magic Johnson is the best. Because you can't really talk about Steph in that point guard conversation.
No.
In that regard, you can't even put him as the best point guard of his generation. You can't. Because you'd have to talk about people like
can
Chris
say-
Paul, who
you
have
can-
played in the same era and were better at passing.
Yes, but point guard doesn't mean you're an amazing passer. He's not the best playmaker of his generation, but he is the best point guard.
But isn't playmaking the main duty of a point guard?
Not always, no.
Patrick?
Oh, I would agree. Certainly, I think it is.
Traditionally.
Getting your teammates involved. He had amazing Hall of Famers. I mean, if you're Magic Johnson, you're given a lot of stuff. You're given the keys to the franchise for the Lakers, and as a rookie, you win the NBA championship and Finals MVP, something that Steph Curry waited a long time to do. I think that's playmaking enough for me.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's best point guard of his own generation.
But then this is the thing, though. If you're saying playmaking, LeBron is a
That's what I'm
fantastic
saying. I
playmaker.
think if you wanna
He's not
talk
a
about-
point guard.
if
You
we're
don't
talking
have to
best
be
players-
a playmaker to be a point guard.
He was the leading assist. Every single season that LeBron's played, he's led his team in assists.
Yes.
So if you want to make Magic the best point guard, then really you can make the same argument for LeBron, even though he's not averaging 12 assists a season like Magic did at times.
That's what I'm
I think
saying.
once you open it up to being a facilitator, then you have to throw LeBron into that conversation, and it just gets muddled.
That's why I'm
But-
saying it's not even the basis of being the best point guard, but it's also just being the best playmaker. So just playmaker.
They're on the Mount Rushmore. Let's transition into rookies, from GOATs to newbies. How are you guys feeling about the Rookie of the Year race?
It's gonna be super close this year. I'm flip-flopping between who I have right now. Who do you have?
I have Victor Wembanyama. I
Of
think
course.
he is,
hot take.
Whoa.
certainly not a hot take.
Calm down.
Number one overall pick, most hyped player probably since LeBron James. The dude is the tallest, or tied for the tallest player in the NBA right now. I mean, he's got that on its side. So I think, I don't know.
You're
who
really
y'all's
pushing the
picks
boat
are.
out here.
I don't know who y'all's picks
bro.
is. But I mean, it is
At least
chalk.
Isaiah's
first landed him.
Yeah.
Isaiah's foaming at the mouth right now because it's his
Breezy's.
Spurs.
You
So
know.
yeah.
Who you got?
I have somebody that's roughly a similar frame to him. I have Chet Holmgren winning
Oh
it.
boy, the Ben Simmons debate.
Oh, not even. I mean, he's in the best possible position to win it. He's on a team that desperately needs a center right now, and he's a do-it-all center. He's literally fantastic defensively, one of the best dribblers for his size in the league. He's a great shooter.
How's his health?
That's the one thing that's gonna really.
the one thing.
Well,
much
if
does
we're
he weigh?
saying that.
much does he weigh?
Don't talk about weight when you just talked about Wembanyama.
Oh, dude, Wemby's a
He's
total difference maker
Wemby's
than
like
Chet.
5 pounds 5 pounds heavier than him. I don't want to hear that. But no.
Wemby's longer,
I
too.
think
way
Chet,
bigger.
because the whole Donovan Mitchell and Ben Simmons debate a couple years ago, I think Donovan Mitchell was closer to a playoff picture than Ben Simmons was, and I think that could be a thing here as well because Chet Holmgren's on a team that could genuinely make the playoffs, and he could be the second or third contributor.
I don't know. I really think it's going to come down to Wemby or Scoot, who I wound up picking.
Scoot's another
because
one
he
I
should
was
put
looking
up
at.
buckets and numbers with Dame Lillard rumored to be getting traded. I think it's really going to be even if he's not the most efficient, his numbers should be way higher than most people's. So
That's if he gets traded, though.
I
If
hate
not,
the
then
idea
I
of
don't
a
know what's gonna
second-year
happen.
player really being the focal point of the Rookie of the Year debate. So,
Yeah, I get that.
But the final conversation, real quick, is going to be free agency. Who do you guys think were some of the biggest underrated signings and stuff of this free agency period?
So, underrated might be a broad term for this, but I think it is unreal that the Dallas Mavericks signed Kyrie Irving. Because, like, the fact that he could have went to so many different possible, like, destinations and just easily could have been in the title picture, like the Clippers, the Lakers, he could have gone places like that, but no, he chose to stay with the Mavericks and play with Luka. It's going to give a second year of that Mavericks team kind of gelling together, and Luka's finally going to have a second star again. And we're going to be able to see a full season of it. I think they're going to do very well because they got a lot more defensive signings as well.
Unreal, like a flat earth, some would argue. Who do you pick, Patrick?
I think that's a pretty good pick, so I won't argue too much with it, but I chose Dylan Brooks. Every team needs a goon.
God.
Every team needs somebody to get ejected or suspended in a game. They need the guy to step up for the younger guys, and I think that's Dylan Brooks. The Rockets had a ton of money. They just decided to go spend it all. So
Dylan Brooks
I mean,
is a
I
very
thought it was a
underrated
good
leader.
signing. They also got Fred VanVleet, so the context is there. They added some guys on offense. Second team all defense, 14.3 points per game. I like it.
I love the mentality he
if
brings
he
to
fouls
them.
out,
Very
he gives you
underrated
6
leader.
fouls,
Yeah.
and I'm okay with $86 million.
Yeah.
for
I was about to
6
say
fouls.
20-something mil a year is crazy, but
They're going to
yeah.
have to toughen up on that team with all those young players and all the smack talk and targets he's going to bring to them. So, yeah, it'll be a lot of drama probably, but I like him. And the final, probably the best person that you could possibly get, D Rose, okay? Let's talk about a former MVP going completely underrated in this free agency period just because he shot 30% from the field, made like 1 assist, 1 point. Wait, where is it? He made 5.6 points per game.
He did not play for
You
my
want to know
Knicks
what was
at
great
all
about
last
him, though?
season.
He can't shoot. Neither can Ja Morant, and that's what he needs to drill into his mind.
That's
You can't be
debatable.
waving guns on the gram anymore, Ja. If you want to win anything, put the guns down and pick up a basketball. That's how I feel about free agency, okay? Get the
fair.
guy who's going to tell the guy, pick up a basketball.
That's fair.